Hi, this is Belinda Calibriali and this is Talking High Performance with Belle. So I'm making this podcast for people who want to live their best life, people who know that there's more in them, but they just don't know how to get it. So there's a gap, something's missing, I'm making it for them. Hey, it's Belle. I hope you're having a great week. Today, I'm super excited to be talking to you about how to navigate life's challenges with confidence and ease. And I believe this is something that's always a work in progress. And I see it with myself and my kids as they grow, and you think you've nailed that part of parenting. All of a sudden, they come back with, something new to challenge you with. And it's how do you deal with that and move forward. And this applies to every area of our life. And the main part is at least we're giving it a go and we're willing to take on that challenge, whether it's something big or something small, like speaking our truth in a difficult situation. And today I'm excited to talk to you about that. So if you like what you're hearing and you want more bite-sized bits of information to get you moving forward faster, please don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. And I've put a link down below for you. So what does it mean to take charge of your life and navigate it with confidence? And I think to me it means facing difficulties and having the courage to face obstacles with a positive attitude and a belief where you go, you know what, this might be hard or this might be unfair, but I have the ability in myself that I can overcome it. And it means stepping out of your comfort zone and having that growth mindset and a willingness to learn from our setbacks or things that are really tough in our lives. And many of us, our natural inclination when we're faced with difficulties to shy away from it. So that's when we want to hide, that's when we want to retreat. And so my advice today is do the opposite. So whenever you feel like shying away from something, there's normally something to gain on the other side. And it's when we speak our truth and when we find our courage to do that. And, whether it's, speaking to our partner about something in our relationship or even shying away from telling people our real ambitions or our real thoughts, it's something that I'm encouraging you to do today because I really feel that it helps to move you forward. And so why is it important? Why is navigating life's challenges with confidence important? And it's important for a few reasons. And the first one is it helps us to overcome obstacles. So when we have challenges in our life, having confidence in our ability to work it out helps us to stay motivated, and it helps us with that drive, and it helps us with that persistence. So it helps us push through and get to the other side. And the more that we do that, the more obstacles that we can overcome. The second part is that I think it enhances our mental health. So, when we can overcome obstacles and when we can step into things that are uncomfortable, it helps us to deal with those feelings of stress and anxiety. And by having a positive outlook on our abilities, by having a positive outlook on, what it could be like and what could be on the other side, it really helps us to move forward. Navigating life's challenges with confidence, it helps us to achieve our goals. So when we've got ability to overcome things, when we've got confidence to know that, I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm going to work it out, it helps us to achieve our goals. And we can set, therefore, more ambitious goals. And this leads us to a greater sense of personal fulfillment, because every time we do something where we're up-leveling our skills or trying something new, we're building positivity and we're building confidence and we're developing that muscle of courage that we have. And this also helps to inspire others. So, when you see someone that's achieved what you want to achieve, or you see someone going for their goals, or you see someone, who has, a busy life and they've got young children or they've got a crazy schedule, but they're thriving and they're positive and they're motivated, it's really inspiring to those around them. And it encourages them to face their challenges differently and achieve their goals. And so that's why it's so important. So if we think about taking charge of our life, it looks different to everyone. And, what taking charge of my life looks like is very different to what taking charge of your life might look like. But, someone who's taking charge of their life, they've got certain traits, and as high performers, they're these traits that we recognize in them that allows them to move forward. And the first one is they've got a clear sense of purpose. So they have a vision for their life and they know the direction they want to go in. Not to say that it's always going to be a straight line, but they're really clear on, this is where I want to be. And if I think about my life, I know what it wanted to look like, in 1 year. I know what I want it to look like in 5 years and in 10 years. And it's really, really motivating. And I know personally what I want it to look like. I know professionally. It's not to say it's going to be perfect all the time, sometimes far from perfection, but I go, okay, this is what I'm aiming for. and this is my, big, hairy, audacious goal, and I'm going to work, really hard to try and get there. And so somebody who is able to take charge of their life, they're really purposeful in what they do. They can set goals. So they set achievable goals, and setting achievable goals is really important, because if we don't set goals, it's really hard to move forward. And, I worked with someone a couple of years ago, and she said, oh no, we don't set goals. We just kind of fly by the seat of our pants. I think that's the way the saying goes, but I'm going to go with that one. And God, it drove me like insane. And I'm like, how can you move forward if you don't set goals? And I just couldn't. I really struggled to understand it. And so setting goals as a high performer is super, super important. For me, I have a productivity list that I've got in my office. I've also got a whiteboard in the kitchen. So, I set goals and things around planning, which is probably to the other extreme. But for me, I normally have 2 to 3 things on the go at any one time. And it's really important that I, for myself personally, set deadlines and dates and times of when I want these done. And that really inspires me to move forward. Someone who takes charge of their life, they're really proactive. So they go, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to make it happen. And if they don't know the steps to make it happen, they'll get help from somebody. So they won't wait for opportunities to come to them, because, it's very rare that the opportunity of your lifetime comes to you just from waiting and sitting on your dining chair. We need to be proactive in what we face. We need to be proactive and go, oh, you know what? I had my friend who, if I give an example with the podcast, I had my friend who I saw she had a highlight on her Instagram that said, 10,000 downloads reached. And so I reached out to her. I said, I didn't even know you had a podcast, because it wasn't on her normal Instagram page. She's like, oh, yeah. So I listened to her. I thought it was great. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Who's your guy? And so she sent me all the details, and that's how I started this podcast. So, it's being proactive and going, someone's not going to come to me to go, hey, Belle, can you do a podcast? I want to go out and be proactive, and that's really important. So being proactive is another really crucial step. Another one is being self-aware. So understanding we've got strengths, we've got weaknesses, and we've got areas for improvement, and recognizing patterns that hold us back, but also patterns that move us forward. And I think, too often we've been told, work from and make your weaknesses stronger. Whereas as high performers, we go, no, your weaknesses are always your weaknesses. You can try and make them stronger. But for myself, for example, I know IT, it's never going to happen. Like, I'm never going to be great at IT, but I've got a great guy that helps me with IT. But recognizing, okay, these are my strengths. This is what I'm good at. So I'm going to focus on that to propel me forward, and being really self-aware with that as well. People who take control of their lives as well, they're also really resilient. So, they can bounce back from setbacks, and they're prepared to fail. So, when you launch your first, email to invite people to come to a course, and you're expecting to get this great reply, and no one replies. And you're like, oh, but my email's good. It's got the flashing, the flashing lights, and no one replies. A high performer will go, okay, it's not the product. It's not the delivery. Maybe it's just timing. And then they'll go, no, it's not timing. What do I need to do that's better? And they'll work out ways. Maybe they need to employ someone to help with marketing. Maybe their socials, aren't up to scratch, and they need to get someone to help with socials. But it's going, okay, where do I need to work? What do I need to work on to be better? And it's building that resilience and going, you know what? Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. But when we're growing and we're learning, there are things that we need to tweak. To take back control of our lives, I also think we need to have difficult conversations. And, this came up a lot in my previous job. This comes up a lot with coaching clients. And sometimes, they're saying something, or it could be a pattern that's playing out. And we need to have the conversation and go, is there another way to approach this? And the client might go, no, that person is da-da-da-da. And you're like, okay, but is there another way to approach it? And sometimes having the difficult conversation, whether it's me with my client, whether it's my client with the person that they need to have the conversation with, it's recognizing that we need to speak our truth in a nice way. And sometimes we don't do it in a nice way because we're so frustrated, but that it's about reflecting and going, okay, how could I have done that better? Where can I show up better? What do I need from you? But also, what do you want from me? And just having those really balanced conversations, which are sometimes difficult. So that's another way to take control of your life. So you feel like, okay, you can't control what someone else does, but you can control, again, your reaction to how you behave. And The last part, or the second last one actually, is about getting individuals around us who really get us and inspire us to want to be better. So, I have a friend who I always bounce ideas off when it comes to my thoughts, and she won't give me answers, but she'll ask me questions so that I can come up with my own truth. And it's really, really powerful, and it's higher level thinking. I'll always have a coach. At the moment, I've got an energy coach, and it's always about, okay, how do we maintain energy, at a higher level? How do we work on that? And again, they don't tell you what to do, but they direct you in a way where you find your own truth. And so for me, getting individuals around me who inspire me and make me want to be better is super, super important. And the last thing that people do, and this is something that's really important to me, is sourcing out relationships that you want in life. And even current relationships, going, okay, how do we make these relationships better? Whether they're with your partner, whether they're with your friends, whether they're with your kids, going, okay, are these the relationships that I want? Yes or no? Yes. How do I make them better? No. Okay. Why? Like sometimes you realize in friendships, sometimes you realize, with family members, when I talk to a lot of my clients, sometimes there are relationships that you need to have because they're there. Other times there are relationships that you need to work on. So if there are ones that you need to work on, does the other person want to work on that relationship with you? Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. Sometimes people want more surface level relationships. For myself at the point that I'm at, I want deeper connections. It's super, super important to me. So it's working out, okay, how do I build those connections and how do I bring the best version of me to a conversation and how do I source those people? So really, really important. So now that we go, okay, this is what people who take control of their life do. How do you begin to take charge of your life then and navigate challenges with confidence? And the first part is to work out what challenges energize you and work out what challenges drain your energy. So sometimes there are things that we want to do that we go, okay, yep, we want to do it. It excites us. It motivates us. Let's go there. Other times we go, we're working on something, but it's just really draining my energy. Do we need to be doing those? Yes or no? So that's the first thing. The second thing is to go, okay, are there anyone or is there anyone around you that's challenging you that makes you feel threatened or upset? Anyone that's, questioning your sanity, anyone that you feel like, I've never had this problem before. Why is it coming up now? And then is this something that you want to navigate or not? So is this person helping or are they a hindrance? And then working out, okay, if it's not working, if they're threatening you, if they're making you upset, maybe it's better just to say, no, this isn't for me and go on a different path. And sometimes that can be hard because they can be people that you've had in your life for a long time. Sometimes it's around marriage breakups and going, okay, is this actually what I want? And then the third part is envisioning the future you want and setting yourself a challenge on how to get there. So where do you want to be in a year? What do you feel is realistic and how do you set the steps then to get there? So what do you need to put into place? Who do you need around you to help you? But also what do you need to let go of? And really setting yourself that challenge and going, okay, even preempting when things get hard, what do I envisage may be hard with this goal that I want to achieve? And preempting, okay, when this happens, I'm going to have some prompts in my head to go, okay, I was expecting this to happen. These are the options that I can come up with, that I can work through to help me move forward. So that you're prepared and you go, okay, there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be failures, but what can I do to help me get to my goal? And then another part in helping to do that is who do you need on the journey with you? So who are the friends that you need to hold you accountable? Are there books that you need to read? Are there people that you need to employ around you? Are there things that you can listen to help you? But envisioning where you want to be a year from now and setting yourself a challenge to get there really helps to build your confidence as well. So there you have it, a few tips on how to navigate our life and the challenges that arise with that with confidence. And again, this is something just like when we speak about anything, it's always a work in progress and something that we want to continue to work on and grow out in order to be better. And it's all about, again, excellence over perfectionism to get to the life that we want to live. So if you find that this may be hard to get started, feel free to head to my website and grab yourself a copy of my complimentary ebook, Becoming You, to help you on this journey to transformation. So stay tuned as next week we're going to deep dive a little bit deeper. We'll be talking about congruence and how to live an aligned and empowered life. Until next time, live a successful, purposeful, and fully charged life. Your coach, Belle.